It's Friday, the 13th of January. My name's Juan Brown. You're watching the Blanco Lirio channel. And thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, we now have the ATC audio tape and transcript of the Airbos's transmission with the aircraft during the Wings Over Dallas Commemorative Air Force event back on November 12th of 2022 that resulted in the midair collision between the P-63 King Cobra and the B-17 and 6 fatalities. This audio tape, which I would call the smoking gun of this whole accident, corroborates exactly what the NTSB said in their preliminary report about this accident, and we're going to go through this step by step again as we listen to this audio tape. Remember, this is a third in a series of videos on this channel about this accident. You need to stay current and qualified here on the Blanco Lirio channel. Check your subscription status and notification setting to all, because each of these videos builds on one another. There are several fundamental rules when putting on a parade, a bomber parade, in front of a crowd. Number one is you always have altitude separation between your different types of aircraft. Usually this is about a 500-foot altitude separation, for example, between the bombers and the fighters. Number two, if you have separate lanes designated, a 500-foot lane and a 1,000-foot lane, you do not switch those lanes. Once you are assigned a lane, you stay in those lanes. Three, there is no passing. There is to be no passing of aircraft during one of these parades. And finally, and most importantly, and what this audio tape presents to me, is that once you brief the plan and then you fly the briefed plan. You do not simply make the event up on the fly during the actual flying portion of the air show. These things need to be very carefully choreographed on the ground and completely briefed and clear amongst all the crew members before going in the air. First, we're going to listen to the NTSB explain exactly what we're listening to. This is the audio tape from the Airboss. Remember, the Airboss is the director of the air show.
This copy is being prepared by Dallas Executive Federal Contract Tower. The subject concerns a commemorative air show accident involving November 7227 Charlie and November 6763, November 12, 2022, at approximately 1920 Universal Coordinated Time. The agency involved in this accident is the Commemorative Air Force. The frequency being copied is Airboss Airshow frequency 118.625.
Before we get to the transcribed part of the ATC audio, I want to play a clip of the audio that shows just how closely this Airboss was controlling these aircraft. He was treating these aircraft very much like a ATC controller, telling them exactly what to do and when to do it. So remember, during this show, they're flying a double dog bone pattern here, doing a left 90, right 270, and then a right 90, left 270, sort of dog bone pattern back and forth in front of the crowd located right here. At this point in the tape that we're going to listen to, the fighters are still on the ground getting ready to depart while the B-17 is flying by. Listen how closely the Airboss is controlling this situation.
Nice job, B-25. Your right turnout to go catch the SB-2C.
Copy, B-25.
American fighters are the warm-up set.
Fighters are ready to go.
Right turn, B-17, right turn, right 90-degree turn, right there. Yeah.
Right turn for Raiders.
Right now, right turn. Right 90-degree turn, right now.
Turn on Raiders right now.
Yeah, thank you.
He's not only telling him which direction to turn, but exactly when to make the turn. Now listen to this next clip, which to me sounds like the Airboss is making up the entire air show on the fly, not following a pre-briefed pattern.
American fighters, runway 31, line up and wait.
Line 48 fighters.
Yeah, so the Raiders is going to go point it right at the crowd, point it right at the tower. You're going to come overhead, and then we're going to do a
what?
A right turn, a right 270 after this. I'll walk you through it. Here you go. Perfect. That works really good. Thank you.
So he's making the calls as he sees them while the aircraft are flying, instead of following a carefully choreographed, pre-briefed pattern. Now we're going to hear a clip just before the transcription starts where the altitude assignment is made to the bombers of 500 feet.
Okay, Raiders, make that a right 270. You're on the 1,000-foot line. Let's go down to 500 feet AGL, and this will be a bomb pass. Pyro on this pass for the bombers. Give them a bunch of bombs.
Right 270 down to 500 feet for Raiders. 2 Hotel Victor, intersection inbound.
American fighters, runway 31, clear for takeoff, right turnout.
Right turnout for fighters.
802 Hotel Victor, runway 31, continue, flight of 3, departing prior to your arrival. Airboss has you inside.
Roger.
And 802 Victor, Hotel Victor, plan on putting it right on the numbers. There you go, guys. That worked out really well. Thank you very much.
So not only is the Airboss directing the air show of the bombers, which there are at least 4 bombers in the pattern and 3 fighter aircraft, there are also additional aircraft taking off and landing in the middle of this air show, which probably should not be happening. And the Airboss is also having to direct the pyrotechnics technicians out there on the flight line to help, and he's going to make the call as to when to blow the pyrotechnics. A lot going on for one individual. Now we're going to follow the audio tape that follows the transcription.
And narration, the American fighters are probably about 30 seconds out. They're pointing towards us right now. They're getting pointed towards us right now. Bombers are going to make the left racetrack. The fighters are going to join overhead, guys. Just this is looking really good. Thank you very much.
5-8 Quebec inbound.
5-8 Quebec, continue 3-1. Airboss has you in sight. Report the golf course.
Golf course, 5-8 Quebec.
And 5-8 Quebec, you can plan on putting it on the numbers and then minimizing your time on the runway safely.
5-8 Quebec.
And the American fighters have the B-17 off their nose.
Affirmative, they have the 24.
Very good. You pick up the B-17 and then you can start your F-turn over the American bombers. Thank you.
Okay.
American fighters are show center right now, bombers, and they're going to come get on top of y'all. Let's keep this left racetrack going.
Here's in.
B-17, next pass left at 90, right 270.
Say again for Raiders.
Next pass left 90, right 270.
South Sierra Raiders.
Fighters follow the bombers through, and then I'm going to break y'all off in just a second.
Copy.
Boss, Pyro.
Pyro, go.
I've got 2 walking bombs left going each direction and several singles and 5 strafes.
Roger, yeah, we're going to work it out.
B-29 to taxi.
B-29, taxi runway 31.
Thank you.
B-17 after this pass, right 90, left 270.
Raiders, right dog bone.
Fighters, you can walk your way up to the B-17. I'm going to break y'all out after this. You're going to end up breaking left, so you're going to follow the bombers to the right 90 out, and then you're going to roll back in left and be on the 500-foot line if y'all want to set up an echelon for a break so y'all can get in trail.
Okay, say again for the fighters, that was not clear.
Fighters, go echelon right. Go to echelon right.
Okay, fighters, echelon right.
Okay, B-24, if you can give me a couple of inches and close the gap, I'd appreciate it. B-17, let's keep the turn a little flat for me. And just a little bit. When you come back through, you're coming through on the 1,000-foot line.
Here's Roger.
American fighters should be in a right turn. You're going to follow the bombers out on a right 90 turn, and then I'm going to roll you back in front of them. Quebec, I need you to drop it down to the deck. Runway 31, clear to land.
Clear to land down to the deck, 5 Quebec.
Okay, massive confusion beginning right there. He's directing the bombers to the left dog bone pattern. He's getting the fighters in trail along with the bombers for the left dog bone pattern, but he's assigned everybody 500-foot altitude, and he's assigned a crisscrossing of the tracks. He's putting the bomber, which is on the outside of this dog bone here, he's going to put the bomber on the 1,000-foot line, and he's going to have the fighters crisscross in front of the bombers and pick up the 500 feet foot line closer to the crowd. So the bombers are going to be farther out and the fighters are going to be closer in, causing them to crisscross. And they're going to be setting up for a crisscross in a left-hand turn. And as we discussed earlier in an earlier episode, you cannot pass somebody belly up. Passing somebody belly up like this, you cannot see where that aircraft is that you're passing underneath your belly. This Airboss does not understand these fundamental formation basics.
There you go, B-17. Yep, gentle, flat, roll it around, 1,000-foot line.
Foot line for Raiders.
Fighters, roll it back to the left. Lead, fighter lead, roll it back to the left, and y'all get in trail.
Okay, fighters in trail.
Yep, and gunfighter, look out your left side and find the B-17.
See the 17.
Yeah, there you go. Roll it back to the left. I want you to get in front of the bombers. I want you to come through on the outside edge of the runway.
Okay.
Wind check now. Winds are estimated 330 at 12 gust 18. Nice job, fighters. You're coming through first. That will work out. B-17 and all the bombers on the 1,000-foot line. B-17, you got the fighters in front of you off your left. Nice job, fighters. Come on through. Fighters will be a big pull up and to the right. Knock it off, knock it off. Roll the trucks, roll the trucks, roll the trucks. Knock it off, roll the trucks. Thank you very much. B-24, it's right turn. B-24, right turn to follow. Fighters, you go right there. Stay right where you are. Left turn, fighters, left turn. Knock it off. Roll the trucks, roll the trucks. Let's go, roll the trucks. I think Quebec, hold your position. B-29, hold your position. B-24, your right turn. SB-2C, follow him. B-25, right turn. You got the B-24 off your left side. Go into the hold, everybody. Go into the hold.
The Airboss then goes on to direct the aircraft into holding patterns, and then he individually clears the aircraft from the holding patterns to their alternate airports. But this ATC audio clearly spells out the conflict that the Airboss created in having the fighter aircraft pass the bombers and crisscross lanes. Remember, there were 3 fighter aircraft, 2 P-51s and the P-63. The P-63 was slightly behind the other 2 fighter aircraft and was rushing a little bit to catch up. The P-63 did not see the B-17. He could not see the B-17 because he was in a belly-up turn to the B-17, and the Airboss had directed the B-17 to go to the 1,000-foot line and the P-63 to go to the 500-foot line, that much closer to the audience, thus setting up the conflict. All at 500 feet with no altitude separation. This Airboss was relatively new to airbossing for the Commemorative Air Force. However, he is the son of the Airboss that has been doing this job for many, many years for the Commemorative Air Force. How this all got past the Commemorative Air Force organization and the quality and content of the briefing beforehand all have yet to be determined by investigators. Thanks so much for your support of this channel, especially the folks over on Patreon that make this content possible. See you here.